Fans, we are now ready for what you all came here to see. 16 martial artists, 8 total fights, including 1 heavyweight title bout for 1 Fierce Fighting Championship evening. So Fierce fans, let the fighters in the back know that you are here. Put your hands together and make some noise! Our first fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance, your one-stop shop for your auto, home, life, and business insurance. Do something today you'll thank yourself for later with Damage Plan Insurance. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome our very first 2 fighters to the cage, Zach Singer and then Mike Goolan to the cage.
First time in the MMA rule set, but acclimated to the matter at hand. Enter Zach Singer. Caitlin, already a Muay Thai bout under the belt, and now a big stage for a debut.
Yeah, I talked to Zach's boxing coach, who's actually one of my coaches at Syndicate MMA, and he said that Zach is a really great wrestler and his striking has really improved, all thanks to him. And I think that Zach will be more than prepared for this debut, training out of Syndicate MMA.
Jason played offensive line for UNLV back in the day as well. I mean, some of those skill sets transfer over nicely to MMA.
Oh, yeah, I think this is huge. I mean, usually when you see the debut guys, they don't have the experience. They have a little bit of those jitters. I don't think this guy's going to have any jitters getting in the cage tonight.
Caitlin, not to mention multiple-time high school wrestling state qualifier in the state of Nevada at Bishop Gordon. Also has 50 friends and family traveling here to witness the debut. Out-of-town counter, but got a little pop there when his name was announced.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that wrestling background is really going to help him tonight in that cage.
All right, back to it is Team Link's Mike Goolan. And Jason, a second walk for the 23-year-old, but already a full 9 minutes of cage time early into his career.
And that's huge. Coming up, even though he lost the fight, he's got that experience. He's got those first fight jitters out of the way. He's coming out of an awesome camp up there at Team Link. Eric Iman is one of his training partners up there. I'm excited to see this guy. Actually, Eric Iman's in his corner. He's fighting in our main event tonight. Wow.
That's really impressive. That's got to be really nerve-wracking, courting one of your teammates right before you're about to fight.
Yeah, he mentioned the first fight didn't go well, but has been mainly focusing on takedown defense headed into this one opposite Zach Singer. With that, before this bout beckons, we will see what flies off the film on this tale of the tape. Mike Goolan facing off against Zach Singer. We got the heights different on there, unfortunately. It looks like either way, we will move forward. 5-year senior is Zach Singer headed into this one. Also, Mike Goolan, 6'2". Zach Singer standing at 5'11". Goolan will have a 31-pound disadvantage in the weight category. 232 pounds yesterday. Zach Singer tipping the scales at 263. Goolan with a record of 0-1. Zach Singer to make his debut as we speak. Still getting checked out is Mike Goolan.
I love starting off the night with the heavyweights.
Got a handful of them. 2 to top off the card, the co-main and main event. Both heavyweight bouts. The other 2 on the main card are going to be at featherweight. As we get this one going, we will send it inside to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Damage Plan Insurance. This fight is an amateur 180-pound catchweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 263 pounds. Fighting out of Syndicate MMA, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, Fierce fans, make some noise for Zach Berju Singer. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 232 pounds. Fighting out of Team Link Utah Training Center, hailing from Syracuse, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Mike Goolan!
First rep for Mike Goolan in the red gloves. On the other side is Zach Singer, who will swing with blue. This amateur heavyweight bout is brought to you by Damage Plan Insurance, your one-stop shop for a plan to fit your needs. Damage Plan Insurance, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Tyler Tomlinson, third man in the cage here tonight. He is on all 8 assignments here in the Maverick Center. The veteran referee here in the state of Utah. Again, Singer in the white trunks. Goolan in the black as he steps down on that one.
Great job from Gillian using his range, popping that jab out there.
Both fighters headhunting early.
Looks like Singer might be busted up already.
Yep, we already got some blood there.
Singer closes the distance, immediately puts Goolan up against the cage. Again, this has been a focal point of the camp of Goolan to keep this thing in the center as he looks to do so. Singer already bloodied up on the bridge of the nose.
I like Gillian's jab. He's using that distance very well.
Singer reaches but makes some contact. Goolan crisp on that one as well, right on the chin. He's landing cleanly thus far, Caitlin.
Yeah, Goolan definitely has the reach advantage over Singer, but I think Singer's best bet is to close the distance, take him down, work his wrestling, kind of what he was trying to do earlier, and not get caught up in this dirty boxing, especially with so much damage already been done to his face.
Zach Singer told me he's looking forward to incorporating all the different mixes of martial arts as he slams down right up against the broadcast booth.
That was a nice little single leg right there.
And this is where Gillian does not want to be with Singer on top of him like this.
Singer on the road, but you wouldn't expect it with the way this crowd is popping for him right now. He's still in a dominant position. Both fighters already having their moments, though, Jason.
Yeah, it's been a great competitive first round. I love what I'm seeing for both of these heavyweights. Gillian doing the right things. Singer just dominant on top.
Drags Goolan back down again. That 31-pound weight differential, obviously the largest on the card. Certainly starting to feel it right now, Caitlin.
Yeah, Goolan needs to work his way up, try to get his back to the fence, get it back standing, and so he can use his distance. Singer seems like the better wrestler here. He's just so dominant in this position and able to hold him down, use his extra 31 pounds advantage to hold him down.
Wright doing a good job getting his way back up, and right as we say that,
Goolan gets back to his feet, vibrates the seats of the Maverick Center as the hometown crowd backs him. Final 10 seconds here, round 1.
Make some
All right.
noise for the very first round of the evening.
We'll head to one of the corners of these heavyweights. Not the best visual on the side of Singer, but he was dominant for the second half of that round.
yeah, I thought Singer did a good job. He got that takedown. I thought Gillian was very effective with using his jab early on. Did some damage to Singer there. It'll be a tough round to score.
Caitlin, is that blood going to get in the way and obstruct the view at all of Singer coming into the second round?
It definitely could play a role if it gets into his head, but sometimes you have so much adrenaline, it just doesn't really matter. You don't know whether it's sweat, whether it's blood. I think if he's really focused and honed in on the fight, it's not going to play a huge difference, but if it does start leaking into his eyes, then that can cause a little bit of blurry vision.
He's got a huge
Holy
gash.
moly, that is a ginormous
Wow.
gash.
Our cut man, Mace Sellers, only has 60 seconds, but doing the best he can as we head to the top of the second round.
Did that come from a punch? I didn't see any clash of heads or anything. Wow, that's a pretty deep gash.
And it happened early. It happened within the first 20 seconds of the round. We will see if it will have any effect on the heavyweight, who seemed to do more action in the first 3 minutes. Again, Mike Goolan has seen 9 full minutes of MMA action. Zach Singer does have the Muay Thai bout under his belt. Tyler Tomlinson taking a quick look. He is going to get checked in on that gash because it is a deep one. Doc Murdoch making his way inside.
I hope this doesn't get stopped by the cut.
Yeah, let him fight. It's right there on the forehead.
Yeah, if it was closer to the eye, then I would say call it, but I think it's high enough that it's okay.
We cleared our
in-cage
cameraman. It would have been nice to have a close-up shot on that, but we see some quick instructions by Tyler Tomlinson. Top of the second round of a possible 3 between these two heavyweights. Again, Zach Singer coming in from Las Vegas in the white trunks. Mike Goolan finding success on the feet once again. Straight down the pipe, targeting that gash, it seems like, Jason.
He is. He's being very effective using his range. I really like what Mike's doing right now. He's got Singer a little confused. He can't seem to get in there for that shot, and he's fighting it off. Great job from Mike so far. And he's got that cut leaking.
Yeah, it looked like Goolan was going straight for that cut. Really smart game plan on his part.
Goolan also cloaked in blood. He closes the distance, lands a knee to the inside into the breadbasket as well.
Gillian's gonna have to circle out of here. He doesn't want to be up against the cage.
Singer masked in blood. It'll come into the visual right there on your screen.
And both boys are looking tired already.
Yeah, this is where I think Gillian has a little bit of an advantage, already having gone 9 full minutes.
Big shot lands by Singer, but again, the view seems to be obstructed as it's dropping into the inside of that eyelid.
Yeah, it's definitely, he just wiped his eye right there.
Closes the distance. You got to think he's going to want to take this thing to the ground as they're right up against us once again.
We are in the splatter zone.
The pressure of Singer seems to be the epicenter of his effectiveness thus far. But Goolan finding a good underhook on that one and now reverses the position.
Yeah, Goolan did a great job cage switching right there and then breaking off and throwing some punches, doing lots of damage.
Final minute of round 2 and what has been action-packed up to this point.
Now Singer's landed some big shots.
Goolan seems to be waning a bit. Lost his footing for a second. Singer sent a shot down, wasn't able to land it.
A big shot.
Both fighters wearing it, more so on the side of Singer. One of the bloodier fights I can remember in recent memory, guys.
Yeah, and when you get a cut like that on the forehead, it's just going to bleed.
This is a great fight to open up the card.
What a great fight.
Final 10 of round 2. Singer pops a couple of jabs.
Singer just landed a great 1-2.
Precisely upstairs.
That
will close it.
Oh,
We got ourselves a little fight of the night on our hands.
Yeah, this could very well be fight of the night. Singer landed some big shots towards the end of that round. I'd like to see how Mike comes back in this third round because Singer was connected.
yeah, that cut is definitely bothering Singer. He just grabbed his eye and kind of rubbed it. And,
Yeah,
got
looks Doc's
3
back
more
in
minutes.
the cage.
Hopefully we can hold it together.
Well, we got Doc back in the cage right now talking to Tyler Tomlinson. One more round. One more round.
Not really sure who's the favorite coming into this third round. It seems like it very well could be split. Jason, your thoughts?
I'd probably – oh, that's a deep gash. They just showed it on the camera. Sorry to avoid the question, but I'd probably lean Goolan slightly 2-0, but I could see it going 1-1 coming into this third round too, and it looks like we're going to get to see this third round. Very close, competitive fight.
Top of the third and final round. Mike Golian, the 0-1 amateur. Zach Singer making his debut here inside the Maverick Center to kick off Fierce FC 32. Again, Tyler Tomlinson, the third man in the cage.
Are they bringing Doc back in? Here comes the Doc.
And here comes Dr. Murdoch once again.
You know, we really just want to make sure Doc is earning his money. I know we're paying him a lot of money to be here. Just want to make sure it's effective.
Seems to be the green light from Doc. Tyler Tomlinson will kick off this third round. Both rounds, they've gotten a little bit more than 60 seconds to rest as well.
I think both those guys needed it after that second round.
All action upstairs by Golian early in this third round.
I think Singer's doing what he needs to do, just kind of going.
Ooh, Golian is landing some hard knees in the Muay Thai clinch.
Those knees send back Singer. Golian seems to be fresh with just 2.5 minutes to work.
Singer has power. If he lands one of those big shots.
Yeah, Singer is still swinging. If he just can get him to connect, I think he can drop him.
Yeah, Singer wants these exchanges. Gillian needs to keep that distance and keep popping that jab, and he could end up winning this fight.
A lot of hype around both of these heavyweights coming into today. Syndicate MMA excited about Singer. Mike Golian getting the endorsement from many, primarily Eric Iman. Some leakage out of the nose as well of Golian. As we see it right up against the broadcast booth, you can see it dripping down onto the blue canvas. Nice knee up the middle to get out of that particular position by Golian.
What a fight. Both these guys are giving it their all. I love this.
Stiff leg kick lands. The mouthpiece is lost by Golian. Singer keeps moving forward. Tyler Tomlinson looking to find a spot to stop this, to get the mouthpiece back in. Golian didn't move at all.
No, he's marching forward. He's not. Oh, big shots by both men.
It's all right. Teeth are overrated anyway.
Tyler Tomlinson taking a good look. He's got the mouthpiece in hand. He's waiting to find a position where he can stop this. He's going to stop it now. Get the mouthpiece back in for Mike Golian. It was punched out by Singer about a minute ago.
Yeah. He took some hard shots, too, while his mouth guard was out. And that gets dangerous just because a tooth can get popped through a lip, or you can even lose a tooth. So I'm glad he got it back in there. But Singer's doing a good job controlling Golian against the cage.
There's only 30 seconds left.
Both fighters have mixed up the weaponry well. Some nice knees back up the middle for Golian. That's been a new piece late in this fight that he started to add. Another one right up the middle. Singer eats it.
Hey. Nice 1-2.
Oh, a little head clash right there.
What a dog fight.
The first fight of the evening. Make some noise!
All right, with that, we will look towards the scorecards. A lot of work to be had. Both fighters having major moments through 9 minutes. Jason, your thoughts?
Yeah, what a great first fight of the night. I'm going to lean slight edge to Gillian in this fight. Singer did have some big shots. He did land it. I just didn't think he did quite enough. You can see the guy has a ton of potential. He's got some heavy hands. He just ran into a guy that, you know, maybe that first fight and Gillian having already gone 9 minutes played effectiveness.
Caitlin, I think it's fair to say this could be a split decision. This is going to be close.
Yeah, and I think if we look at Gillian's nose right now, that is broken. So we got a big gash on one guy's head, and then we got a broken nose on the other hand. This fight was a bloodbath.
You guys got
thoughts on Zach Singer in the debut here tonight?
Zach Singer was very impressive. His wrestling in the very first round was awesome. He throws heavy shots, and he fought a very tough opponent. This fight was nothing short but awesome.
Interested to see either way. One of these fighters is getting their hand raised for the very first time. brings a pop to the Maverick Center to kick things off. We've got 7 fights still to go, but I think this one's going to take the cake for fight of the night. It might just be. I mean,
that's going to be hard to beat.
Zach Singer getting some love from the Las Vegas Travelers all the way up here, about 6 hours away here in Salt Lake City, but able to make the trip. Some major respect distributed between the two as well. Mike Goley and Zach Singer putting on one of the best heavyweight fights I think Fierce FC has seen in a while, still tallying the scorecards.
And for a heavyweight fight, this had a lot of output, so it was awesome to see those guys slinging all the way from beginning to end.
All right, we are ready
Fierce
to...
fans, one more time, first 2 fighters of the evening. Make some noise for them both. Incredible. Fierce fans, after 3 intense rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Mike Goolan!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for these 2 big heavyweights throwing down, putting it all on the line in the cage tonight. Mike, impressive fight. You didn't get the win in your debut, but you came in here tonight, utilized your jab, utilized some big knees. Was there anything that threw you off tonight?
You know, not a whole lot. Training with Fabio out of Team Link, he prepped me for anything. And you know, big shout out to those guys. They really helped me grow in this sport, and I'm very happy to have that opportunity to train with them.
Yeah, we saw some big changes in you tonight. He ended up taking you down in that first round. Was that something that you'd worked on? Was that takedown defense in this fight?
Oh yeah, 100%. With how my last fight went, that's where I got caught the most, was in the takedowns, and I wasn't gonna let that happen again. So we definitely worked on that a lot, and it paid off.
Awesome job. Is there anybody you want to give thanks to tonight?
You know, there's a lot of people out there to give thanks, but top 3 is Fabio and the team at Team Link. Really helped me grow. Second is my family, mostly my wife. She's 8 months pregnant right now. So I'm really happy she allowed me to do this. And then thirdly, I want to thank God for giving me my health and letting me go and do these types of things. Very grateful.
Once again, congratulations, amazing performance. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Mike Goley.
Welcome back into Fierce FC 32. We got actually Tyler Tomlinson and Jason Laporte talking right behind us right now. We'll get the report on what he has to say. But Mike Goley and Zach Singer, that brings one of the top fights, I think, of the entire year thus far, Caitlin.
Yeah, I mean, that was a way to start off the show. They were throwing the entire time. They put their all into that fight, and it was definitely a bloodbath. David
Knudsen and Austin Cardone on deck coming into this one. David Knudsen out of Wasatch, Soul Fighters Wasatch. They've changed their gym name a couple of times over the last couple of months, but David Knudsen out of Soul Fighters Wasatch facing off against Austin Cardone. Austin Cardone brought the house down in Ogden back in March. I mean, he is one of the main fighters that a lot of people have been looking forward to coming in today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be awesome to watch these 2 big boys throw down.
Knudsen took the fight on 7 days' notice. Interested to see, but he really did it with no worries, no nerves at all. He was excited to take this fight.
Short notice fights are my preferred way to fight because you don't have the long fight camp of stressing. As long as you are prepared, you've been training, you feel like your cardio is good, a short notice fight can actually work to your advantage because you're not just worried about it for an entire 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, sorry, I just got back in here. I just realized that Mike used to train with me in the mornings at Sierra MMA when I was going to the 5:30 class. He's like, "Are you still going to Sierra?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's how I recognize you." And no, I could not roll with that guy because he's a big guy.
Jason, your thoughts on that performance?
I was just going to say, I got feedback from Tyler Thomason on that. That was an accidental headbutt. And the way he explained it is Zach went in for a double leg, and he kind of did it to himself. So he didn't want to stop it because of that. So it was an accidental headbutt in there. So he wanted to let the fight go. But that's the explanation on that. So it was an accidental headbutt in the first round.
We have our in-cage workers working overtime right now, sopping up all the blood from that last fight. Some big cuts, specifically on the side of Singer, but excited to get this card to continue on. Looks like we are just about ready to go. We will kick it inside to our man Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by FST Filtration. They provide the best manufactured HVAC products for your home and business. Go to fstfiltration.com, take the 2-minute air filter quiz, place your order, and get fresh air filters delivered to you whenever you need them from FST Filtration. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome the next two fighters, Austin Cardone and then David Knudsen, to the cage.
A rapid return to the cage following a first-round finish. Enter Austin Cardone. Jason, he mentioned being poised and patient in March. He passed that test with flying colors.
Flying colors, he did. That was one of the knockout of the year contenders, early knockout of the year contenders by Austin Cardone. He listened to his corner, threw a big right hand, and got a big knockout in a fight that I thought he was losing it early on in that fight. And that was poised, calm, cool, and collected by Austin Cardone.
Caitlin, under 90 seconds of cage time headed into this sophomore slate. A minute and 29 seconds to best Skylar Bernasconi back in March.
Yeah, I mean, that's really impressive that his first fight was finished that quickly. Let's see if we can do it again tonight.
Austin Cardone out of Excite MMA, home to the likes of Utah's top talent. Michael Eastwood, Cross Hughes, Carson Hardman, so many of them have fought for belts, and they just continue to grow, Jason.
Yeah, that's one of the top gyms in the state right now. They're on fire. They were on a huge win streak last year. Let's see if they can keep adding on to that.
Every debuter out of Excite MMA is undefeated this year at 3-0.
Wow.
Austin Cardone, north of 2 years of training. Again, put on one of the top highlights of 2024 coming into today as he enters the cage to await David Knudsen. Well, from one day to the next, it was no problem for David Knudsen. Caitlin, on just 7 days' notice, he makes his MMA debut under the hot lights of the Maverick Center.
Yeah, and as long as he's been in the gym and been active and feels like he's in shape, a short notice fight can really play to his advantage because you don't have those pre-fight nerves, you don't have a long, drawn-out fight camp. So let's see if he's been training and if he feels good, because sometimes fighting can be just as much as a mental battle as it is a physical battle, so he doesn't have that long fight camp.
Yeah, he's got bantamweight champ Jackson DeGray in his corner there, fighting out of Soul Fighter Wasatch. Almost forgot his name. I don't know how I could forget his name. He's been highlight reel knockouts and finishes, and he's the champ. Sorry about that, Jackson.
Soul Fighter Wasatch 4-0 this year, one of the 2 undefeated schools in the state of Utah, in great part due to Nate Reinhardt, Jackson DeGray, as well as Viliami Kulu, who has turned his talents over to Las Vegas. Let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape and get the intangibles out of the way for this amateur catchweight bout at 180 pounds. Identical in age between David Knudson and Austin Cardone. Cardone will be the taller man tonight at 2 inches, standing 5'11". Cardone weighing in at 179.5 pounds. Knudson weighing in at 179 pounds. Knudson makes his debut. Austin Cardone with a record of 1-0. With that, let's send it inside to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by FST Filtration. This fight is an amateur 180 pounds catchweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an undefeated amateur record of 1 win and 0 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 179.5 pounds. Fighting out of Excite MMA, hailing from Lehi, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Austin Crazy Horse Cardone. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, making his amateur debut. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 179 pounds. Fighting out of Soul Fighters Wasatch, hailing from Highland, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for David Knudson.
7 days notice for David Knudson, sporting the red gloves. Excite MMA's Austin Cardone answers in the blue. This amateur 180-pound catchweight bout is brought to you by FST Filtration, fresh air filters delivered for when you need them most. FST Filtration, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Austin Cardone, second fight in 2.5 months. Fired up, too, as Austin Cardone. I don't know if it picked up in the mic, but he just came over and said, "Let's go, David." Excited for this one between these two at 180 pounds. Again, David Knudson taking this fight this week as Cardone steps inside, doesn't land, as they separate back to the center of the cage.
And we got no touch of gloves between these 2 fighters.
Cardone throwing some clubbing shots up to this point, swinging for the fences and very quick, Jason.
Yeah, he is very quick. Knudson moving very well, though. I'm really impressed with his footwork so far.
Knudson told me that the thing he was most looking forward to was throwing a fully fledged leg kick. Been doing Muay Thai for the better part of 3 years.
He looks like Jackson DeGray in there.
Moving well, that head kick lands, gets a pop from the crowd as well.
And it looks like we might have some swelling underneath Cardone's eye already.
Hard to see from this specific angle, but yeah, it seems like the primary attack, Jason, is those kicks from Knudson.
It is. He's looking very well tonight. And remember, Cardone started off a little slow in his last fight, and he ended it with a huge finish.
Definitely some swelling on the left eye, right under the eyelid, or under the eyelid, I should say, for Cardone. See a little bit of blood also coming out of the nose of Knudson. I don't know if you see that, Caitlin.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. That was a nice leg kick by Knudson.
Yeah, that left eye is swollen for Cardone right now.
We saw the blood obstruct the view in the first fight. It might be the bruising in this second one that might get in the way a little bit, Caitlin.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how much that eye gets hit and if it keeps swelling up, because that can affect his vision.
Those leg kicks are playing dividends. Cardone's stepping very gingerly on that lead leg.
Cardone stepping forward but unable to land. Knudson been finding his range pretty quickly here with under a minute to go in this first round.
Very impressive debut on 7 days' notice. Heavy leg kicks.
Knudson able to incorporate some offense on the back foot as well.
Cardone seems to be more of a brawler. He likes to push forward, make it dirty, make it ugly. And Knudson seems more of like a technical fighter where he likes to use his range and use his check hooks, teeps, leg kicks, that kind of thing. So that's what makes this fight really interesting.
Knudsen lands while going backwards. Cardone
Clipped him. Oh.
sends him down. Cardone now looking to finish this one. Knudsen able to get his wits back about him, but wild in those waning exchanges.
Great composure by Knudsen once again. I mean, I'm very impressed. Cardone, though, not stopping. We saw this in his last fight. Started slow, and he starts to pick it up at the end.
And you have to wonder how badly that hurt Knudsen. He's probably not all there right now.
We're going to jump over to that corner right now. We see some blood. Cardone landed a massive shot right down the pipe, and now we see it really coming through the nose.
Yeah, he looks composed. He's not breathing very hard. I didn't see any signs of him looking like he was in any danger.
David Knudsen began training after watching UFC 252 in 2020. That was Cormier versus Stipe. Watched it and said, I want to start doing that. I want to start training that. 4 years later, we see him here today.
Here he is, and he looks impressive so far.
We see a little bit of coaching as well on the side of Jackson DeGray. Caitlin, he's put on so many great performances for us. What do you think he might be saying to the fighter right now?
He's probably telling him to keep his hands up, especially when he is coming in hot. He's getting caught with a couple of big shots that if he were to keep his hands up or keep his guard up, he can really circle off and be able to avoid those.
Big moments for both through 3 minutes. Tyler Tomlinson, again, a busy man here tonight as the fight lights get queued up once again for the top of the second round.
Cardone's going to have to make this fight ugly.
There's a touch of gloves this round. Earned some respect.
A little bit of respect after both fighters land some appreciable damage on that one. Cardone lands cleanly on the chin, draws
Nice
a reaction
right hand.
from Knudsen.
On that leg kick, Knudsen needs to be very careful and keep his hands up because he's keeping them wide, and so Cardone has the advantage to go straight down the pipe and probably do some damage on those leg kicks if he can time it right.
Knudsen really investing in that leg.
Ooh, nice up kick, but I think that might have been illegal.
An up kick. Knudsen shoots back up. Cardone starts to empty the tank a little bit more. But Knudsen, his composure has been the most impressive thing through this fight thus far, Jason.
I am very impressed with his composure. 7 days notice, making a debut against a tough guy, and he's looking very good.
Immediately shot back up from that as well.
You just heard the corner of Knudsen say Cardone switched his stance, so that leg kick. Great corner work from Knudsen.
Knudsen peppers in a couple of shots as Cardone made his way inside, rips another leg kick, but Cardone on the front foot.
Hands up and circle, that's what the Gray's saying.
Hands up, and he's putting him up. He's listening. This is how Cardone wins this fight, though. Keep pressuring him. Oh, big shot from
That was
Knudsen
a
again.
great check hook. And that's kind of what you have to do with a fighter like Cardone. When they come in hot like that, you have to work on circling and using your check hooks or throwing teeps down the middle right when they come in hard.
Cardone starting to feel it on that lead leg. He'll switch stances once again. Back over to southpaw, back into orthodox as Knudsen punishes him for it. Cardone pushes back the challenger. Jason, one fight between these two in totality, yet we're seeing a striking showcase from both as we see Cardone once again putting Knudsen up against the cage.
Cardone is a dog. Just keeps coming forward. Can barely stand on that left leg, and he's just marching forward.
Still coming forward, but Cardone.
That was a big overhand.
Finding his way inside the zone well. Final 10 seconds.
Oh, this fight might get stopped by leg kicks. There is some serious bruising on Cardone's leg.
Back and forth battle we go. It seems like there's kind of been a pattern, especially through that second round. Knudsen lands a super heavy leg kick, and then Cardone punishes up top.
Yeah, that one's a little harder round to judge to me than the first round because I felt Cardone did land some bigger shots in that round and looked like he had Knutson hurt a couple times in there, but Knutson also had him hurt, so good luck to the judges tonight.
Caitlin, who do you think has the upper hand headed into this third round? Because it seems like Cardone is getting more and more damage built up in that leg throughout every single minute of this fight.
I'm going to have to give it to Knutson for at least that second round. But Cardone may have taken the first round because he did drop Knutson. So I think it's 1-1 right now. So I think this next round will make it really interesting.
We start to see Knutson slow down a little bit, and that pressure of Cardone could come into play in this third round.
Both fighters have been hit with just about everything but the kitchen sink. They keep moving forward. Third and final round. Knutson awaiting right at the center of the cage. Tyler Tomlinson saying, hey, step back. The bell hasn't rung just yet. Eager to get things going. You got to think Knutson's going to be targeting that lead leg once again of Cardone.
That check hook, there it is again. And then Cardone with that overhand. Caitlin, you called that. Every time he goes for that leg kick, he's throwing that. Every time Knutson goes for that leg kick, Cardone's throwing that overhand.
Yeah, he either needs to throw off of the leg kick or start checking it so Knutson doesn't throw it as much.
Knutson stiffly lands that jab, pushes back the head of Cardone.
Cardone switched back to that southpaw stance again.
Cardone thuds that one right down the pipe of Knutson, but Knutson wears these shots so well, Caitlin.
It snaps his head right back, and then he just keeps going forward.
Head kick lands for Knutson as well. That one, Cardone able to get out of the way.
Cardone a little more stagnant this round from those leg kicks, and this, as I say that, he lands another big overhand.
It's been the power punches versus the point fighting, but Knutson also has landed a lot of damaging shots. As once again, the two separate back to the center of the cage. Knutson reaches but doesn't land as well. Steps back and lands another one to the head of Cardone.
Oh. Beautiful leg kicks. Well timed, well placed.
You better keep that left hand up because Cardone's swinging for the fences right now.
Just past the halfway point of round number 3. First two fights have really lived up to the hype so far, guys.
This has been what an impressive night so far.
Once again, Cardone lands upstairs, Knutson lands downstairs. Now back up top is Knutson.
Both fighters just landing hard hooks. It's almost like 1 for 1 at that point. Like, you're going to throw one, I'm going to throw one, you're going to throw one.
I mean, if I'm Knutson, I'm circling, I'm using my jab, and I'm using those leg kicks. I don't know if I want to stand in there and trade with a guy like Cardone.
Nearly impossible to judge through 9 minutes, as we just have about 30 seconds left to decide it. Knutson invests in the breadbasket. Knutson cracks the chin of Cardone. Cardone keeps moving forward. The leg kicks seem to hurt him.
He can barely stand right now. What a warrior. What a fight.
Your second fight of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise!
Caitlin, 9 minutes up, 9 minutes down. Really tough to call this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Cardone, but me saying that, like, that was a very, very, very impressive debut coming off of 7 days' notice by...
I'm going to give a slight edge to Knutson, but gosh, that's such a close fight. Both guys landed huge shots. This is going to be a tough fight to score.
So much damage given on both sides. From minute 1 to minute 9, it really was just nonstop offensive output from both. Both take a lot of damage, but we will have to see what the judges think. We didn't think we were going to see a lot of decisions tonight as we go over to Cardone. It looks like he's in pain on that left leg, Caitlin.
Yeah, no, that leg is definitely going to be hurting. He's going to be limping for at least a couple weeks on that.
Austin Cardone made a name for himself in March. David Kudson does more of it tonight. But Austin Cardone, without a doubt, one of the toughest fighters out of Excite MMA to date. Excited to see what the future holds for both of these guys. Still waiting on the final tally as we get an embrace from the two fighters. Which one was better, fight one or fight two?
Oh gosh, that's hard to say. I'm going to give it to fight one just because it was a little bit more bloody, but this one was a little bit more technical, so I think that was, yeah, I'm going to go with fight one.
Looks as though Jackson Hoops getting the final tallies from the commission. Looks back, gives us a big smile. But David Kudson, seems like the sky's the limit for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, very, very impressive debut off of 7 days' notice. He's tough as nails against a really tough opponent.
All right, looks like we have wrangled the fighters and scorecards are in hand. With that, let's take it over to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score this contest 29-28, 30-27, and 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, David Kudson.
Ladies and gentlemen, here for winner David. David, 7 days notice, you come in here, you fight a dog fight on your debut. What's going through your mind, man?
That was pretty fun.
It was pretty, you looked like you were having a lot of fun in there.
Yeah, pretty bloody.
Yeah, you're a little bloody up. He was a little bloody, could barely walk. You came out there, looks like you executed your game plan. I heard the corner calling out some stuff to you. You were doing everything they said. What was the game plan coming in here on such short notice with a guy like Cardone?
Play my game. Really wasn't much of a whatever. Really wasn't anything like that. We just kind of said, go as hard as you can, have fun, let's do it.
You landed some heavy leg kicks in there. Was there any point in there where you think you were going to finish that with leg kicks?
Yeah, pretty much every round I thought I had something. He's tough.
Yeah, he's tough as nails. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, my coaches, Reese, Jackson. Casey's not here because he had a wedding. My fiance, Steph. She's out there somewhere. She's awesome. My family, they've been really supportive. Even though my mom hates this, she showed up anyway. Hey, Mom. Yeah. Wasatch.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, David Kudson.
Hard one. And you still have another one to go. And people ask me all the time, bro, you're 37. You're training so hard. I'm going to show you guys a secret. What get me going? This is what get me going. Yoshi Hydro, developed by one of the best dietitians, Marcelo Fel. That's the first thing that I take. I've been taking after weighing. So I go to UFC and make weight. That's the first thing that I take and recovery. And that's the thing that's going to get me going to the next session. Yoshi Hydro. I told you guys, the second round is done. Yoshi Hydro. That thing gonna get you going. Make sure you get yours.
Scan the QR code on your screen right now for access to Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. Welcome back in, everybody, to the Maverick Center. Fierce FC 32 well underway. We're 18 minutes into action, Jason, and it has been fireworks through it.
Yeah, if you would have asked me at the start of the show if I would have thought these first 2 fights would have gone to a decision, I would have said hard no. I would have thought that we would have been done in the first round, and here we are, 2 fights that go to decision.
Caitlin,
close fights.
Your thoughts on the unanimous decision?
I mean, I think it's really impressive that he pulled out the unanimous decision because he did get dropped in the first round. And so I kind of thought that maybe the judges would have seen it go Cardone's way. But, I mean, regardless of what I think it was a really impressive performance, and it could have gone either way for either fighter. But, I mean, Kudson, hats off to him.
Yeah, very impressed with Kudson. I mean, he looked good. Those guys down at Soul Fighter Wasatch, they all look very impressive.
They're 5-0 now on the year, and David Kudson seems like the new big name that's about to blossom.
I mean, early on watching his footwork, you could tell he had some skills, and he's been training with the likes of Jackson DeGray and Nate Reinhardt. He put it all together tonight.
Still some prelim work to attend to. Morgan College facing opposite Zach Hamilton. Morgan College, the fastest turnaround for him since October of 2019, an 8-month turnaround as he fought Cross Hughes back in September of last year.
Yeah, that was a very competitive fight, a fight that I felt like he was winning. I felt like he had the advantage. He was striking. He was moving very well, even after that long layoff. I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to the cage tonight.
Well, why don't we just bring him out then? Jackson Hoops inside with a hot microphone, ready to do so.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Detail Sharks. With over 10 years of experience, they have polished the Thunderbirds, cleaned the roller coasters at Lagoon, ceramic-coated supercars, but more importantly, they've mastered the art of shampooing and detailing your vehicles. For all your mobile detailing needs, trust Detail Sharks. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Morgan College and then Zach Hamilton to the cage.
Maverick Center debut in walk number 10 for St. George MMA's Morgan College. Jason, the record might be deceiving, but we're looking at a guy who possesses power alongside a very high fight IQ. He won nearly every second of his last fight before being finished.
Yeah, he was winning that fight. He got caught. He did have a long layoff. He looked really good. I'm really curious tonight if he's going to be able to put it all together and end up getting a big win tonight. He's got a tough task with Zach Hamilton standing across from him tonight, though.
Caitlin, when talking about Morgan College, 2-1 at featherweight. 2 of his 3 wins have been in this weight class. This seems to be home for him.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why there are weight classes, because you do better at a certain weight. So it's good that he's been able to test that while he is an amateur and figure out what weight class that he needs to be in before he turns pro.
Previously primarily at bantamweight, made that move up and has had a lot more success. Jason, he scored a knockdown and a takedown in 70 seconds in his last fight.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him, and I don't remember the layoff. I know it was a long layoff in between his fights, but I was really impressed with what he brought.
It was 3 years.
3 years. That was impressive. He looked very good, was well on his way to winning that fight. He got caught, and you know what? This is what amateur ranks are for.
Morgan College, his fiance is former Fierce FC strawweight champion Hannah Silva, a firm foundation for him down in St. George. They've been together since June of 2019 and just recently got engaged as well.
I was just getting ready to say,
Congrats
recently
to them.
engaged. Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Oh, a little cross dissolve in the production. Longest layoff of this man's career, but back and better than ever is Zach Hamilton. Caitlin, despite the loss last time out, a lot to admire considering he went a full 9 minutes with a jiu-jitsu black belt in Roberto Vela.
Zach is definitely a gamer. He has an unorthodox style of striking, so it's hard to see where his punches are coming from. He had a couple of injuries, which explains the longer layoff than what he's used to, but it's good to see Zach back in there again.
Jason, when we're talking about Zach Hamilton, 0-2 in the Maverick Center. We'll see if he can shake that trend here tonight, but he has been working on upgrading every piece of his arsenal.
He has. I've been watching him. I've been watching his training videos. He's been putting in the time. And can I just say, I love the intensity that both of these fighters had. They both came running out of the curtain full of energy. This is going to be a fun fight.
Zach Hamilton, again, survived a full 9 minutes versus the black belt Roberto Vela. Just fell victim to the A-side grappling chops of the California fighter. But the fact that he survived for that long, Caitlin, we called it. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it was definitely impressive. And you can see we have Court McGee in Zach's corner as well as Marco Sanchez. He's in great hands right there.
All right, let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape between these two featherweights. Zach Hamilton facing opposite Morgan College. Hamilton, 5-year senior coming into this one, also edges the range in height, standing 5'11". Hamilton weighing in at 145.5 pounds. College weighing in at 145 flat. Hamilton with a record of 5-2. Morgan College with a little bit more tread on the tires with a record of 3-6. With that, let's send it inside to Jackson Hoops.
Fans, this fight is sponsored by Detail Sharks. This fight is an amateur featherweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding an amateur record of 3 wins and 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of St. George MMA, hailing from St. George, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Morgan College. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 5 wins and 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 145 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Akima Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, hailing from Springville, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Zach Heavy Hands Hamilton.
Back in the Maverick Center is Zach Hamilton in the red gloves. St. George's Morgan College proceeds in the blue. This amateur featherweight bout is brought to you by Detail Sharks. Leave your vehicle looking and feeling like it just rolled off the lot. Detail Sharks, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Jason, we've talked privately. This might be the fight of the night, the #1 matchup that we've been looking forward to.
Yeah, I've been really excited about this matchup since Zach announced it.
Zach Hamilton, an 80% finish rate. Coming into today as Morgan College opens up with a leg kick.
Zach filled out nicely last night. He's definitely rehydrated. He's definitely the bigger fighter tonight.
I saw him here last night. I said, "How you feeling?" He said, "My mouth is really dry." And I said, I completely understand that. A little bit of action from College early.
Yeah, College took the center of the ring immediately.
Did that as well against Cross Hughes as College invests in the body and finds himself on top. Hamilton floored in the corner of College. Zach Hamilton, a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Nice reversal.
Yeah, no, Zach is in the advantage.
Morgan College, a blue belt. Morgan College seems to be chasing the back right now. Unable to get to that prime position on the back. And now we see some more wrestling from Hamilton.
College was able to switch that around, dig an underhook, and control Zach.
Beautiful trip to the outside, finds College on top, a couple of ground and pound shots. Hamilton now getting a little bit involved as he'll get the reversal, now trying to capture that arm. College in a tough spot as Hamilton finds himself in a position to do some damage.
You see College doing the right thing, getting his hips away, going in the back. Great jiu-jitsu from both guys.
College working his way inside. Gets one hook in, and now Hamilton seems to be in a little bit of trouble. College's lone finish is by submission. Zach Hamilton has also been susceptible to rear naked chokes in the past.
And that's tight. Fight this hand. Zach's got to fight those hands. Push up on that elbow and try to get that.
Looks like Zach's doing a good job trying to tuck his chin and fight the hands. College hasn't gotten the submission yet. But it looks like he's just getting that locked up right now.
Oh, it's tight. He might be out.
Just
Zach's
about
out.
there. Morgan College maximizes the Maverick Center debut. Takes care of business here in Salt Lake City.
Very impressive performance by Morgan College tonight. Very impressive.
Morgan College submits Zach Hamilton. And with that, Morgan is going to get his 4th amateur win. An embrace from his brother Brody. Zach Hamilton still on the ground. Let's move it over to College if we can. A massive moment for the fighter out of St. George, Utah.
Yeah, I mean, he put him completely to sleep.
Let's see, we are trying to queue up the replay right now. Our first finish of the night is we get the embrace between College and Hannah. That's back-to-back wins now between that couple. And it looks like we've just about got it. This replay is brought to you by Rush Hydro. Caitlin, it'll be all yours. Looks like we are just about ready to go. We'll hold off on it. we'll hold off on it, and with that, we'll send it inside to Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Thompson has called the stop of this contest at 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke,
Morgan College.
Got your mouthpiece out? Ladies and gentlemen, here at the winner, Morgan. Morgan, very impressive performance. We talked about at the top of the broadcast. Your last fight ended up coming up short of how dominant you were. You come in here tonight, you fight a tough guy in Zach Hamilton, get a big win. Kind of walk me through that finish and how you sunk in that rear naked choke.
We were strong. I was grappling. I felt strong in those positions. I reversed it. When I got the back, I could feel. I just had to reset, chill out a little bit. I worked for it. He's trying to defend, but I stuck it in there tight.
Yeah, very impressive submission. What's next for you, man? Where do you go from here?
I want that featherweight belt. End of the year, whenever the featherweight's ready for me, I want #1 spot. Because Zach is a fighter. He was a high-ranked fighter, so I just submitted in first round.
Yeah, very impressive. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out tonight? I hear you are recently engaged.
Got engaged. It's official now. And so she got the ring right there. It's actually her birthday as well. And I wonder if I can get the whole crowd to say happy birthday, Hannah, on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Hannah! Thank you.
Awesome. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Sponsors, friends, family?
Just my corners right here. These Taipei boys and girls. We just train all the time. I love them both. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Morgan College.
Welcome back into Fierce Fighting Championship 32, live from the Maverick Center. Blake O'Rulian, Mike Side with PFL flyweight Caitlin Neal, as well as our man Jason Laporte sprinting his way back in, putting the cans on. Jason, I'm going to kick this off with you because you called his last fight, but Morgan College has been winning the majority of the moments through every single fight this last 12 months or so.
Let's get him a title shot. I want to see him. Let's go. Let's go.
You think he's ready?
I'm impressed with the kid. I think he's ready. He was calm, cool. He fought a tough guy. Look, Zach, we know. I know Caitlin knows because she trains with him. I know you know down at Agima. He's been putting in the work. That's not. I mean, he made it look easy tonight, but that was not an easy fight for Morgan College to finish tonight.
Caitlin, your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we would have seen a little bit more back and forth on the feet, but it immediately went to the ground. We got some good grappling there, back and forth exchanges. It wasn't a completely dominant performance. There was some back and forth, so that was cool to see. But then once College took the back, he knew exactly how to lock it up and get the finish.
Jason, rapid fire, Malachi Novasel, Michael Lazalde, a lot to look forward to. What's the #1 thing on your list?
Another banger. Let's see, how does Novasel come back? He's got a couple losses in a row now. Let's see what he can bring tonight, see if he can come back with the win.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and send it in to Jackson Hoops to bring them out.
Fierce fans, our final fight of the preliminary card before an intermission is sponsored by Sketty To Go. As a proud local business focused on making every experience a delightful memory, Sketty To Go is a fun and friendly restaurant in Layton, Utah. They use the best ingredients and provide a positive atmosphere. Stop by their restaurant in person, let them cater your next event, or order online at skettytogo.com. Get your Sketty on at Sketty To Go. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Michael Lazalde and then Malachi Novasel to the cage.
All systems go on 7 days' notice for Idaho Falls' Michael Lazalde. Jason, he's going from back-to-back fighters with one fight to Malachi, who has 12 under his belt.
Hey, this is a huge step up in competition for Michael Lazalde. Obviously, maybe his coaches saw something in Malachi where they might be able to exploit tonight. I'll be curious to what he brings.
Caitlin, one thing that really everyone has noticed about Lazalde is his unorthodox style. Looping hooks is a primary attack for him. We see offense from various angles from this guy.
Yeah, and those shots are hard to defend because if you don't, sometimes when you have a more technical striker, it's easier to defend those shots because you know it's going to come right down the middle or they're going to throw a normal hook. But when they're looping, they just come from different angles and it's hard to defend.
Michael Lazalde been consistently in the gym looking for an opportunity to fight alongside longtime training partner Luis Cortez. He will be on the main card in the co-main event opposite Zeke Latu. But Michael Lazalde, also one of those guys who took this fight on just over 7 days' notice. A couple of days ago, we had a fight drop off. He was one to step in, and now he gets the opportunity to face a former title challenger.
Huge props to these guys that are taking these fights on short notice. I love it. I love it for the MMA community. I love it for the sport. This is awesome to see.
11 fighters have dropped out 8 in 6 days, and with that, Malachi Novasel to come out. All right, back in the Maverick Center is Elite Performances, Malachi Novasel. Caitlin, the longest tenured amateur in the state, and despite the 2-fight slump, holds all the tools necessary to get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, despite coming off back-to-back losses, Malachi is a very promising prospect for the state of Utah. He's well-rounded, his striking is great, and he's really good at pulling off sneaky submissions, so let's see if he will get back into the win column tonight.
Jason, Malachi's 11th fight in just over 3 years, his 13th in totality, but he is always in some sort of fight camp getting ready to make the walk.
Yeah, he's a brawler. Malachi loves to fight. He's got good stand-up. He's got great wrestling. As Caitlin said, he's got great submissions. This guy's just a very well-rounded fighter. Trains out of Jeremy Horn's gym. Jeremy Horn, you see in his corner with the I Love Violence shirt on.
Malachi Novasel been training under Jeremy Horn for over 10 years. With that, let's go ahead and pull up the tail of the tape, see what flies off the film between these two lightweights. Michael Lazalde, 4 years senior. Malachi Novasel will be 2 inches taller in this one. Malachi did miss weight yesterday by 1.5 pounds, weighing in at 157.5. Lazalde tips the scale at 154. Malachi, again, more tread on those tires. 7-5 is the record. Lazalde with a record of 1-1. With that, both fighters in the cage, and we will send it over to get us primed for it. Here is Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Sketty To Go. This fight is an amateur lightweight bout scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of that blue corner. Holding an amateur record of 1 win and 1 loss, he stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Gorilla Unit MMA, hailing from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Michael Lazalde. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding an amateur record of 7 wins and 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in above the contracted weight at 157.5 pounds. Fighting out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance MMA, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Malachi Novasel.
Amateur veteran Malachi Novasel in the red gloves. Michael Lazalde, the dance partner, in the blue gloves. This amateur lightweight bout is brought to you by Sketty To Go. Quality spaghetti without the weight. Open now in Layton, Utah. Sketty To Go, an official sponsor of Fierce FC. Final fight here on these prelims. Again, 4 professionals still to come on the main card. Available now for purchase at fiercefightingchampionship.com. Heavyweight gold on the line in the main event between Jared Vander and Eric Iman. But right now, we point all our focus towards these 2 lightweights. Lazalde already that perpetual movement as Malachi slaps a jab upstairs. Already closing in the distance. Novasel wades inside. Malachi Novasel found the better part of control time against Amin Garcia in his last fight last October. Didn't get the win there, but certainly the grappling prowess was on display.
This is the game plan for Novasel. Get the fight to the ground, do a little ground and pound, search for that submission, and he's executing it perfectly tonight so far.
Malachi Novasel, 6 of his 7 wins have come by finish, 5 of them in the first round, and 4 of them have been by submission. Been training since he was a little kid as he steps over the mount.
Yeah, that was too easy for Novasel right there.
Malachi grapevining the legs. Lazalde trying to find his way out of this position, but draped all over him is the fighter out of Sandy, Utah, as he starts to wrap up that head and arm.
And that's tight already. That is really tight.
Lazalde does have his arm in the right position to defend it, though. You're supposed to act like you're answering the phone, but we'll see how tight that really is. If Novasel can get off to the side, that will help him get more of an advantage on this choke.
Lazalde did lose his last fight opposite Preston Carlson back in January by submission. It was a rear naked choke. Malachi Novasel did let go of that submission, but still searching atop Lazalde. Jason looking to isolate that arm a little bit as well, it looks like, is Novasel.
Yeah, he's isolating. I was going to say, it looks like he's going for a triangle.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too.
And now he's
there he is.
There it is.
It has been a signature submission for Novasel. Seems to be in a position to finish it. He's done it here before, most recently Ricky Mamone.
And that is tight.
There's the tap. Malachi Novasel has a new resident in his win column. He gets it done in the first round.
Hey, props to Lazalde for taking this fight on short notice. He came in there, he fought a guy with a lot of experience, and he laid it on the line. So I got to give props to Lazalde for doing that.
Definitely. That was a great sneaky submission, as usual, from Malachi.
Yeah, I would say that's the game for Malachi. Get him on the ground, a little bit of ground and pound, get the submission.
Malachi Novasel now snaps a 2-fight losing skid with this submission. Let's go ahead and show it to you once again. This replay is brought to you by Rush Hydro. Caitlin, take it away.
So right here, Malachi is getting the angle for the triangle. He moved his ankle up into his knee pit. Now he's moving the arm across the chin, squeezing with his legs, and pulled off the tap.
All right, with that, let's make it official. Send it over to Jackson Hooks.
Submission due to a triangle choke, Malachi Novasel.
Come on over here, Malachi. Let's get on my good side here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a shout out to Michael Lazalde taking this fight on short notice. Let's give it up for Michael Lazalde. I'm here with your winner, Malachi Novasel. Malachi, what was the mindset coming in here tonight? Taking on a guy you don't know, he's 1-1, short notice fight. What was your mindset coming in here?
I just wanted to get it done quick. I just really wanted to show off more of the ground game. I feel like my last 2 fights I haven't been able to do that a whole ton, so just take him to the ground.
You executed the game plan to a T, you got him to the ground. Was that the plan, just get in there, a little bit of ground and pound and submit him?
Yeah, that's all I was looking for the whole time.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my family and friends all in the stands over there. Anyone else who came out and supported me, my sponsors, Modern Edge, my uncle Chris at Macro Tools, everyone at the gym, Elite, Jeremy, Craig, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Malachi Novasel.
Fierce fans, welcome to the main card. Everyone tuning into the pay-per-view and everyone here at the Maverick Center in West Valley City, Utah, put your hands together and make some noise! Let's keep this thing going. We're going to start this card off with our first professional fight of the evening. This fight is sponsored by Mountain Land Supply Company. They take pride in providing the best products to their customers while providing timeless deliveries and always putting their customer needs first. They look forward to the future as they constantly implement new systems and technologies to continue to grow and serve at Mountain Land Supply Company. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Rourke Hodson and then Vince Wright to the cage.
All right, a long-awaited second walk commences for Factum's Rourke Hodson. Caitlin only got 47 seconds of work back in the debut nearly 4 years ago. Certainly looking to clock in some more minutes in this second run at it.
With his fight being that quick and that much time off, I'm sure Hodson has been putting in the work, and his return will be much longer than 47 seconds this time.
Jason, 37 years of martial arts training in totality for Rourke Hodson here tonight.
That's a lot of experience. A lot of experience.
Rourke Hodson, the fourth oldest fighter to make the Walk 4 Fierce Fighting Championship. David Fox was 47, Sean Barry was 45, Eric Iman in our main event later on tonight, and then Rourke Hodson. So a pair of 45-year-olds coming on this card.
Let's give it up for the old guys.
Factum out of Sandy, Utah. I can't remember the last time we had one. I don't believe in my time with Fierce Fighting Championship I have seen a fighter come out of this gym, but excited to see Rourke Hodson get a swing at it.
Yeah, they're a well-known gym here in Utah, and I don't remember a Factum fighter as well.
Rourke Hodson also gets his grappling reps in at Crown BJJ in Bluffdale, Utah. Told me he's been searching for knowledge to rebuild for this second opportunity. Again, his last fight, his debut, was back in October of 2020. Actually, fun fact, first night I ever called fights was with Rourke Hodson back at Mountain Force years ago. All right, just getting checked out by the commission. 45 years of age, we have seen some success for fighters above the age of 40, but excited to see how he fares. Again, that loss was by submission against Zachary Thorne. We'll have to see if Vince Wright looks to grapple at all with the fighter out of Factum as he makes his entrance. All right, the sophomore slate awaits for One Hit MMA's Vince Wright. Jason, he took 13 months in between the amateur career and the jump up to pro. Now already walk number 2 of 2024.
Yeah, he looks in phenomenal shape tonight. He fights out of an amazing gym at One Hit MMA. You can see Ammon Garcia, Fierce Fighting Championship, amateur featherweight champion. Lightweight champion, I'm sorry about that. Ammon, he was supposed to be on the card tonight, and his opponent withdrew, if I believe.
His opponent had a knee injury, up to my knowledge. Caitlin, this is the heaviest that Vince Wright has ever been at 145 pounds here tonight. All other fights have been at bantamweight, but we've seen fighters find success when they make that move up and get a little bit more towards their natural walking weight.
Yeah, it depends how hard the cuts are. Sometimes those cuts can really cut into your cardio, and so we'll see how well he performs at a higher weight class.
All right, with that, let's go ahead and pull up our tale of the tape to learn a little bit more about these two. Vince Wright facing opposite Rourke Hodson in this one, presented by Rush Hydro. Rourke Hodson, 14-year senior, the largest age discrepancy on this card. Identical in height, identical in tipping the scales yesterday at 145 pounds. Also, both fighters with an 0-1 record, looking to get that first win under their resume. With that, let's send it to the man inside, Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Mountain Land Supply Company. This fight is a professional featherweight battle scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Factum MMA and Crown Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hailing from Harriman, Utah. His fans, make some noise for the last Spartan, Rourke Thunderheart Hodson. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 0 wins and 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of One Hit MMA, hailing from Sacramento, California. Fierce fans, make some noise for Vince the King Wright.
Sophomore slate for Vince Wright, challenging in the red gloves. Rourke Hodson awaits opposite in the blue. This featherweight bout is brought to you by Mountain Land Supply Company, providing the best products and meeting customers' needs first. Mountain Land Supply Company, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Hodson is all smiles, and Wright is all frowns. So we'll see how this goes.
Rourke told Zach Partridge yesterday that he wants to sign a multi-fight deal. He wants to get more reps in. Excited to see what he does as he opens up early with a couple of kicks.
Wicked axe kick, too.
Through the axe kick. Like to see that.
Wright immediately closes the distance, puts Rourke up against the cage. Vince Wright, his early MMA career started up in Northern California, up with Uriah Faber in that crew, up at Team Alpha Male. Made his way over to One Hit MMA a pair of years ago. Finished out his amateur career here. And again, his second fight of 2024 as a couple of elbows are exchanged between the two. Both fighters immediately out of floodgates. As Wright lands a couple of knees.
Got some good clinch work right here. Good knees from both fighters.
Some prominent pressure by Hodson. As Wright backed into his own corner, now reverses the shot.
Oh!
There it is! Vince Wright finishes this one. He makes his mark in the Maverick Center.
Wow.
That was a nasty, nasty finish.
I don't know if the punch was harder, his head hitting the canvas was harder. That was a brutal knockout.
At the blink of an eye. Jason, I got to be completely honest, I didn't see it.
I did not see it, but he caught him, and he hit his head pretty hard on the fall down, too. He was out.
It seemed like he swept his feet off the mat, and only his head hit the canvas.
Yeah, I'd love to see a replay of that, because that was...
Tyler Tomlinson was right in our vantage point. It looks like we do have Hydro.
There he is.
There he is. If we can switch that camera really quick and move back over to the replay, if we have it. Looks like we do have it. Vince Wright, all smiles. Let's go ahead and try this again. This replay, again, presented by Rush Hydro. It looked like the check hook. We have it just about queued up here. Maybe we can get it during the post-fight interview. For right now, Vince Wright, all smiles, getting some love from his head coach, Aldo, as well as, again, the amateur lightweight champion, Iman Garcia. Fast as lightning, Caitlin. It was over before things even really got started.
That was a well-timed punch and a gnarly finish. That's got to feel so awesome coming off of a loss.
All right, looks like we do have it now. As the one-hit fighters do get a quick selfie in.
So here we go. Both fighters are tied up in the clinch. And then, yeah, that was just a mean right hook.
Again, did you see it? Because Tyler was right in the way, and then his head dropped.
No, I didn't quite see it. I just saw kind of some feet flying and people crashing onto the mat. So.
Vince Wright possessing power at 145 pounds. He's going to move to 1-1. Really quickly moves over to give some love to Rourke Hodson. Let's make it official right now with Jackson Hopes.
Here's fans, referee Tyler Thomas has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 3 seconds of the very first impressive performance. You come in here, you make quick work. Talk me through that finish, man.
I kind of knew he was going to come in, fast, had good kicks. I saw him run a little bit earlier. I was like, all right, if I had to eat one to get one back, I would have to wait last in this fight. The power I had at 35, I was going to transfer to 45. I just had to line that one. That's what I did.
He threw a wicked action right in the beginning. Were you prepared for that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I pulled out a little bit, but it caught me right on my eye socket, so it was like half off going away. You don't remember it? But it was enough to, keep your hands up, dummy.
For sure. You're back on the winning track. Oh, actually, I'm going to turn around. I want to take a look at the big screen.
Yeah, so I mean, as soon as he caught me with that kick, I wanted to catch him coming in, and then the same thing, all was like, you got the power, catch him with it. Dirty boxing. I didn't know I heard of that back, but yeah, it was hurt.
Yeah, that was a violent finish. You're 1-1 now. Where do you go from here? We're going to see you back in the cage again.
Yeah, I mean, I need to take some time off my body. I've been fighting for damn near 2 years. I know I only had 2 fights, but my last fight I was sick as a dog. Technically I pulled out and decided to fight anyway. Wasn't my best performance. Tonight I wanted to show people I'm better than that. I can do more. So I'm going to take a little time off for my body heal. Hopefully I get 1 more, 2 more for the end of the year. The goal is to go to Thailand in December, go train, come back a better fighter, and fight from here.
Anybody want to give a shout out to tonight?
My coach, man. Iman was in this camp with me the whole fucking camp. It sucks his guy didn't get to make it, but when you got dogs like this trying to take your head off every week, that shit got me ready. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you got your training there with some killers. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Vince Wright.
Oh, man.
Don't worry. I can take real good care of you. See? All taken care of. Works perfectly for you, right?
It's important that you are taken care of properly. At Craig Swap & Associates, we don't get paid until you win.
One call, that's all. 801-444-4444.
Scan the QR code on your screen right now for access to Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. Welcome back in, everybody, to the Maverick Center. Blake O'Rulean alongside Caitlin Neal, as well as Jason Laporte. That was a quick one. Vince Wright takes care of business, and again, kind of tough to see. I mean, the replay really served its job tonight.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, he connected with the punch. Rourke, he hit his head pretty hard when he fell down, but it looked like he was already out as he was falling in a violent finish from Vince Wright.
Yeah, those last 2 punches that Wright threw from the top weren't necessary. He got the knockout way before that.
And you could see a little bit of Ammon Garcia with the aggressiveness in Vince Wright. You see the one-hit guy's got something special going on up there.
I can't remember the last time I've seen Tyler Tomlinson have to sprint and literally pull a fighter off. I don't think it was necessarily an intentional thing by any means. It was just, you have to get the finish where you can, and it's, don't stop until the referee pulls you off.
Yeah, and you heard him in the post-fight interview. I don't think he realized how hurt he was until after, and he saw that replay. He was like, oh, I didn't even realize it. So, yeah, violent finish from Vincent Wright.
All right, we stay in the confines of 145 pounds. Colton Kenniston and Brandon Hansvick waiting in the wings. With that, let's bring them out with Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, our next fight of the evening, it is sponsored by Rockwell Watches. Born out of a need for commitment to redefine a style, devote themselves to quality, and remain loyal to those they surround themselves with, Rockwell Watches reveal a life of uncompromising style, action, and confidence fueled by the weight on your wrist and the story you have to tell. They sincerely hope your Rockwell watch serves as a reminder of a time when you could proudly say, "Watch me." They don't just tell time, they tell a story at Rockwell Watches. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Brandon Hansvick and then Colton Kenniston to the cage.
Back inside the Maverick Center with hopes of another featherweight finish. Here is Brandon Hansvick. Caitlin, one of the more active names in the state, but his first time for Fierce in nearly 3 years.
In Brandon's 8 professional fights, if I'm not wrong, 100% have been finishes. So if I were to bet, I am going to bet that this fight is not going to go all 3 rounds.
Jason, his 9th fight in just over 3 years as a professional. No nights off for the Cedar City fighter.
Yeah, this guy brings it every fight. He's tough. He's durable. He's got good submissions. I'm excited to see him in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage tonight.
Caitlin, similar stat to Morgan College, 2-1 as a pro at 145 pounds. Both wins have been in this weight class. Again, like I said about Morgan College, this seems to be the right weight confines for him.
Yeah, definitely. Once you find your weight class, that's when things start piecing together. So I'm glad he's figuring that out.
Brandon Hansvick, well-versed in control time, would not be surprised to see a little bit of grappling in this one. 4 of his 5 jiu-jitsu competition wins have come by points. Excited to see how he displays that. He competed at Blue Belt back in March in a jiu-jitsu competition down in southern Utah. Took home a gold medal, going 2-0 again. Down in southern Utah is Brandon Hansvick. Excited to see him make his 9th professional walk again. His first time back under the Fierce banner since August of 2021.
Brandon does a lot of work down in Cedar City at his gym with kids with Down syndrome. He's really helping the community a lot down there. So shout out to Brandon.
It's really cool.
Stage is set to showcase the upgraded attributes. Enter Colton Kenniston. Jason, he told me he is mostly looking forward to showing that his last outing was not an accurate depiction of what he can actually do inside the cage.
This is another guy. He's full of energy. You can see him. He's full of smiles. Always brings it when he comes into the cage. Came up short in his last fight. He's going to try to rewrite that loss tonight here.
Yeah, and Caitlin, a little bit of context to that. Back down at home at 145 pounds, his last bout was contested at 160 when his opponent wasn't able to make weight.
Yeah, I mean, hopping up in a weight class isn't always the best decision, so you got to make sure that you fight at the right weight class so you are fighting against people who are at your same strength and cardio level.
Jason, a 14-year pro is Colton Kenniston. Started this thing out in 2010.
Yeah, he's been around. He's got a lot of experience. He just went from smiley to serious real quick there. Maybe it's the walkout song. I don't know.
All right, with that, go ahead.
I think it was Jeremy Horn punching him in the chest right then. I think that's what really snapped him into it.
All right, let's get the particulars in order. Let's go ahead and pull up that tail of the tape presented by Rush Hydro for this featherweight bout between Colton Kenniston and Brandon Hansvick. Hansvick, the older man by 4 years, also will be the taller fighter in there by 2 inches, standing 5'8". Kenniston weighing in at 144.5 pounds. Hansvick matched that. Kenniston with a record of 1-3. Hansvick with a record of 2-6. With that, let's send it back inside to Jackson Hose.
Fierce fans, this fight is sponsored by Rockwell Watches. This fight is a professional featherweight bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 2 wins and 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 144.5 pounds. Fighting out of Fusion MMA and Jiu-Jitsu and Empire MMA. Hailing from Hurricane, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Brandon Downs Warrior Hansvick. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 1 win and 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 144.5 pounds. Fighting out of Jeremy Horn's Elite Performance MMA, hailing from Saratoga Springs, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Colton, Colt 45 Kenniston.
Back inside the Fierce cage is Colton Kenniston in the red gloves. Empire MMA's Brandon Hansvick strapped up in the blue gloves. This featherweight bout is brought to you by Rockwell Watches. They don't just tell time, they tell a story. Rockwell Watches, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
No glove touch.
Colton Kenniston told me he has been on a mission coming into this one. He is so laser focused on proving that he is a more adept fighter than the 1-3 record in which he shows. Hansvick into the action early. Kenniston weathers the storm. Crisp boxing landed by Kenniston upstairs as well as he punches his way out of Hansvick's convergence.
Yeah, and that was a good little pivot off the cage, too.
Definitely seeing a different fighter tonight from Colton.
Seemingly more confident as Hansvick finds Kenniston on the bottom, shoots right back up. Hansvick now searching for potentially a submission. Hansvick not in the perfect position to land that guillotine, but Kenniston doing the right things, moving him out.
Yeah, and he was thinking about a butterfly sweep, but also the cage got in the way, so that's not going to work either. His best bet would be letting go of the head and start working his way back up to his feet.
Kenniston's lone win was by submission back in January of 2015. Hansvick actually got a win last March in 2023 due to an injury as Kenniston now back up and on the back of Hansvick.
Nice wrestling displayed by
Kenniston like a wet blanket right now all over Brandon Hansvick's back.
Hansvick has been submitted 3 times, most recently in February of this year. He fights the hands well, and they separate back to the center of the cage.
Kenniston does look like the more technical fighter here.
A little bit of blood coming from the right eye of Hansvick. Kenniston nearly unscathed up to this point. We hear in the corner of Hansvick to blitz. He steps inside and Kenniston punishes him for it.
Kenniston doing great head movement. He does a little shimmy left to right, comes right in with an overhand.
Finding the target well right now, Caitlin.
Yeah, I think Hansvick is getting a little bit frustrated with all of Kenniston's counters to his attacks.
Teep to the body by Hansvick. Pushes back Kenniston. He comes right back forward. A couple of clean shots connected by Hansvick right down the middle. Seen a little bit more of those leg kicks here late, Jason.
Yeah, nice leg kicks by Kenniston right now, and you can see that cut over the right eye of Hansvick. He's got cut in that eye in the past on a couple fights that I've seen of his.
That was a well-timed takedown. He caught the low kick, I believe, and took him right down.
Kenniston concedes to the bottom, looks to get the sweep, unable to do so, but Hansvick lets him back up.
Interesting strategy, just to stand back up.
Kick to the body, met by the guard of Hansvick. Now back to the well as he invests in the legs. Hansvick, the more active fighter as of late. A beautiful shot lands in the phone booth for Hansvick as well. Kenniston backs up a bit.
Hansvick is definitely landing some bigger shots in the second half of this round.
Yeah, he buckled Kenniston with that big overhand, but Kenniston's right back on him.
Got a quick ooh from the crowd as well. Certainly a change in momentum as we saw Hansvick land a couple of those ones. Now back into the wrestling exchanges as Kenniston looks to incorporate some offense.
Great double leg off of the cage by Kenniston.
Great evenly matched fight so far.
Yeah, it's really back and forth between these two. Hansvick right back up to his feet, threw a knee, and broke off the cage.
I feel like Hansvick is landing the bigger shots right now. He's hurting Kenniston.
Hansvick on the front foot, but Kenniston now gets a little bit more wind in his sails as he lands a knee up the middle.
Deep breath there from Hansvick too.
Yeah, it looked like that knee hurt him. Kenniston is definitely the more I guess, better wrestler in these exchanges. So I think that's his key to victory.
Looks like we will close out round one.
Make some noise for round one.
Between these two at 145 pounds. Jason, your thoughts? Pretty even, right down the middle. Good matchup, like you said.
Very even matchup. I thought Hansvick landed the bigger shots, even though he's got the damage over his eye. Once again, if you watched his fights in the past, he's been cut on that eye before, and he did buckle Kenniston. But once again, Kenniston kept coming back. That's a tough round to score.
Just showed on the screen, but Kenniston has a really, really large bruise on his eye as well. Let's see. Jeremy Horn is covering it.
Yeah, Hansvick, I felt like Hansvick was landing the bigger shots in that first round.
Yeah, but then it's so hard to score because Kenniston is definitely dominated him in the wrestling. So it's like, which one are you going to pick?
Yeah, what do you like? Both guys are damaged. Flip a coin.
Well, yeah, that's a big mouth swelling underneath the left eye of Kenniston.
Both fighters with a few bruises and cuts right around the eyes. Vision has been one of the tougher injury spots here tonight.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of fighters have been getting shots right and cuts right near their eyes. Tyler Tomlinson, again, the third man in the cage here tonight. No other official. No Dave Selyusted. As we get right back into the action. Kenniston pushes back Hansvick with that one. Hansvick invests upstairs. Kenniston throws as well. Nice knee up the middle, pushes back Hansvick.
Oh, that looked like it hurt him.
Yeah, that knee hurt him.
Kenniston now throwing everything at him. Hansvick buckles. The Maverick Center about to erupt, but Hansvick turns back the tides.
He just ate a big knee, Hansvick did, by Kenniston, and he's still coming forward.
He is still trying to wrestle him right now.
Hansvick is a warrior. No quit.
Kenniston
and he got a double leg. Oh, that is very impressive coming out of that gnarly exchange.
Kenniston on bottom, all action here through just a minute of round one.
He just threw a wicked elbow from the bottom, too.
He keeps throwing them back and forth. That's a nice little technique right there. Sneaky little elbow from the bottom.
Looks like he might be trying to set up a little submission there, too. See if he can copy his teammate in Malachi Novasel and slap on a little triangle choke here, isolating the arm.
Back to the standing exchange as we go. Colton closes the distance immediately. Can feel the tides turning as he floors him once again.
All right, Kenniston is looking to take the back. It looks like he's trying to lock up a rear naked choke right here.
Oohs and ahs from the crowd build up as Colton Kenniston looks to close it.
Hansvick's fighting the hands.
Looks like he's readjusting.
Yeah, he's got a little space in there. It's not quite tight yet. Hansvick doing the right. There it is.
Oh, he fought it.
Hansvick able to fight out. The Maverick Center on the edges of their seats. Kenniston still on top, in a position to dominate.
Hansvick has some heart.
Yeah, doing a great job controlling the hands, not letting Colton get under the chin there.
Now Kenniston has the body triangle locked up, and this is a really hard position to defend.
I'd like to see him try to trap one of Hansvick's arms there.
Caitlin, to break that and get back up to standing, what does Hansvick need to do?
Hansvick needs to put his leg underneath Kenniston's leg and lift it up, get over to the side. And he doesn't want it locked up on the bottom like this. He needs to get it so it's on the top.
2 minutes to go in round two.
And there he goes. He recognized it. I think he's listening to you, Caitlin.
Right across the way from us here in the broadcast booth are the two featherweights. Still fighting the hands is Hansvick.
And Kenniston could use some punches here to start throwing some punches at his face and get Hansvick to lift up his chin, and then he could sneak that arm in a little bit better.
This fight had everyone ready to erupt here in the Maverick Center when things really got crazy at the top of this second round.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now. They keep jockeying back and forth position.
Let's see if Hansvick can hold on for another minute and 11 seconds.
Hansvick searching for air. We see his mouth wide open.
Like Caitlin mentioned, I'd like to see Colton try to land a little bit of damage here.
That body triangle is helping him secure this position, though. Oh, he just got to let it go. Oh.
Hansvick able to find himself on top. A massive pop from the Maverick Center, and they stand up.
Very impressive back defense by Hansvick.
What warriors both of these guys are. Now Hansvick's on the attack.
Hansvick pokes out a jab. Both fighters still putting everything into each strike as Hansvick closes the distance. Nice knee up the middle by Kenniston.
Both of these guys taking big, deep breaths.
Kenniston lands another one cleanly in the waning moments of this second round.
Fierce fans, we've got a fun one. Make some noise.
Unable to land the takedown, but all Kenniston through those 5 minutes, Jason.
Yeah, control time, all Kenniston. A couple submission attempts, had the back for the majority of the round. Hansvick, no quit in that guy.
Hansvick, no quit, but heavily shaded by the offense, seemingly, of Kenniston. Your thoughts, Caitlin?
Yeah, Kenniston definitely had the control. He had him hurt. He took him down, controlled him on the back for majority of the round. But Hansvick came up throwing, so let's see how he comes out for this third round. I think he's going to come out hot and heavy.
Be interesting to see what the judges thought of round one. That one a lot more competitive than round two.
Yeah, we could see this 2-0. We could see this 1-1 with a lot of our fights tonight that have gone to decision. We've kind of been like, I don't know. We don't get paid to make that decision, so I'm just going to sit back and pretend like I know what I'm talking about.
We don't see it on the screen, but we do see Mace Sellers attending to the cut. There is a large cut above the right eyebrow of Brandon Hansvick. Again, Colton Kenniston, he continues to swell up in that left eye. Here as we move in to a third and final round.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Hansvick's been cut on that eye multiple times. It's probably scar tissue.
There have been a lot of cuts tonight, so I wonder if just the Utah air is really, really dry now that summer's starting.
That could be it. Or it could be Colton's glove touching his eyebrow.
Fair point.
Hansvick was on the front foot. Kenniston able to find himself towards the back as he attempts to send Hansvick back to the canvas.
Hansvick going for that Kimura right there to try to reverse this if it goes to the ground.
This is a smart move by Kenniston to initiate the wrestling.
Yeah, I feel like he's got the advantage there so far in this fight. Hansvick kind of wants the brawl there.
Oh, Superman punch off the cage. Getting creative there.
A la Anthony Pettis.
Kenniston creative as ever. Lands cleanly, a couple of them now. Right near our ambient mic, you might be able to hear a little bit between these two. Hansvick able to separate. Back to the center they go. Still seems to have his wits about him, Jason.
Yeah, he does. And he's landing that overhand, and now he's got Kenniston in a tough spot.
Kenniston immediately looking to wrestle back up. Looks for the knee tap, unable to do so. But now
he just uses pressure and then drove him over.
Right into side control. Hansvick getting his back to the fence, trying to work his way up.
3 minutes to decide this one. Kenniston looking for one hook. And now Hansvick looks to have a more prime position to do some damage as he sends a couple of shots down his way towards Kenniston.
Now let's see if Kenniston can fight out of this bad position. We saw Hansvick do it in the second round.
Hansvick is landing some nice clean elbows from this half guard. I guess it's full guard now. I think a mouth guard got lost out of someone's mouth.
Hansvick gaining some traction here as we send ourselves to the second half of this third and final round.
I'm real surprised he gave up that position. He was landing some damaging shots there.
Back in the mouth. Back is the mouthpiece. Tyler Tomlinson gets it back to Brandon Hansvick. We move forward here. 2 minutes to go. Still standing are these two. There's a lot of questions as to how this fight would play out, and so far it's been a war, Jason.
Very evenly matched fight. Both guys having moments. Maybe Hansvick a little heavier shots on the feet, and you got Kenniston using that wrestling.
Hansvick just looked up to look at the time.
He's did that twice this round so far.
Got 90 seconds left. You caught it.
Let's get this over with. Hansvick keeps going to the body there. Now here comes the overhand.
Beautiful 1-2 right down the middle by Hansvick.
This is the deepest waters in which Hansvick has gone to. He's never gone to the judges' scorecards. They have all been finishes throughout his career. Kenniston chops at the tree once again.
And this fight has been some high output. He's checking the clock again.
High output, high altitude as well coming up from Cedar City. Pretty stark elevation change when he makes his way up here. Again, his first fight up here in Salt Lake City in quite some time is Brandon Hansvick as Kenniston continues to piece together some offense.
He's had a lot of success with that overhand tonight. A nice little 1-2. Lee comes in with that jab and throws that overhand.
Kenniston keeping Hansvick at bay with that jab here late. Once again, another couple of 1-2s.
Both of these fighters all heart tonight. Kenniston landing some big shots as well. These guys are just trading back and forth. Can we get a sudden death overtime round here? I want to see more.
I don't know. Hansvick is checking the clock too much. I don't think he'd want that.
Hansvick now more so on the attack. He'll close the distance. Final seconds, 10 to go as that ticks. Hansvick will land the takedown.
I'll be really curious to see how that first round was scored because I feel like Hansvick won this third round. This fight could go either way.
Yeah, it all comes down to that first round and how the judges scored it.
Yeah, wow.
15 minutes down. We will point towards the judges' scorecards. What a fight between these two featherweights. Kenniston absolutely exhausted. He expected this to be the case. We will have to see what the judges have to say about the verdict of this one. Caitlin, your thoughts and what you think the judges might be leaning more towards?
I'm going to say Hansvick just because maybe he got the bigger punches in the first round. It depends what the judges think about wrestling, but it seems tonight that they are favoring more of the strikers from their decisions. So I'm going to say that the decision is going to go to Hansvick, but it might be split.
Quick shaka from the fighter out of Elite Performance. Colton Kenniston has not had a win since January of 2015, nearly 10 years void of an MMA win. Brandon Hansvick, his hand put up by Steve Ergel, his longtime coach. Him looking as well for his first win in over a year. Definitely the more active fighter over the past couple of years. Quick handshake as well by Fierce FC matchmaker and COO Zach Partridge. And of course, Jason Laporte ready to chat with whoever ends up getting their hand raised. It's going to be a tight one between these two. Looks like scorecards are in hand. Jackson Hoops ready to make it official. Let's get it over to him.
Fierce fans, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Colton Colt 45 Kenniston. Oh, we got a correction. Cole, we have a correction here. My fault on this one. Brandon, this is my fault on this one. It's a unanimous decision. The unanimous decision winner goes to blue corner, Brandon Towns Warrior Hansvick.
Brandon, I know we had a little mix-up here in the judging scorecard. That was a super close fight. We talked about it on the broadcast. We felt like it could have gone either way. You guys were going back and forth. Talk me through it, man. What's going through your mind right now?
Hey, first thing I want to say, Colton, you took it to me. I honestly thought you had that hell of a fight, man. Second of all, I want to apologize to Steve. He told me to end it early because he had to go take a... So, he had to sit there the whole time and wait for it. So, this is an honor. I love being inside of here. I dreamed of this when I grew up 2 blocks down the road. And I've always wanted to be here. Third, to my kids, they haven't been to a fight in about 2.5 years. Every single one of them are here. I couldn't give up. I couldn't quit because they were watching. So, thank you. Thank you, Fierce, for giving me this opportunity. It was amazing.
Anybody else you want to give a shout out? You got any sponsors?
I got a few sponsors. Flanagan's Resort in Zion, TMS Trees, they're amazing. Coral Canyon Joint and Spine, they've been there with me from day one. They keep my body young. I know there's a few other, but I just want to say thank you to all of them. Without them, I wouldn't be achieving this and fighting for Down syndrome. The whole reason I do this is for be a warrior, fight for Down syndrome. It's to show everyone who was ever told they couldn't do something, they're hell wrong. You can do anything you want to achieve.
Hell of a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, Brandon Hansvick.
Hard one. And you still have another one to go. And people ask me all the time, bro, you're 37. You're training so hard. I'm going to show you guys a secret. What get me going? This is what get me going. Roshi Hydro, developed by one of the best dietitians, Marcelo Frel. That's the first thing that I take. I've been taking after weighing. So I go to UFC and make the weight. That's the first thing that I take and recover. And that's the thing that's going to get me going to the next session. Roshi Hydro. I told you guys, the second round is done. Roshi Hydro. That thing gonna get you going. Make sure you get yours.
Jason Laporte. We are 6 fights in, a short card here tonight, the shortest in recent memory, actually as short as the most recent one. It was July of last year, also 8 fights on that card. Zeke Latu, Luis Cortez present themselves in the co-main event. A lot of people look forward to this one, Jason.
Don't blink on this fight, because this fight, I say this now, it's going to end in the first round. It'll probably be a 3-round war, but both of these guys, they throw heavy shots. Big, solid fighters. This is going to be a great fight.
Caitlin, your thoughts on Luis Cortez? Been on a little bit of a skid as he draws Zeke Latu here tonight.
I mean, Zeke Latu is not somebody that you want to fight when you're on a skid, but if he does come out with a win over Zeke Latu, that speaks volumes for Luis Cortez.
Excited to see how this heavyweight bout weighs out. 2 heavyweights still to come, 2 heavyweight bouts, I should say. Let's kick it inside to Jackson Hoops to bring him out.
Fierce fans, our co-main event of the evening is sponsored by Glow Pop. They are very experienced in professionally making some noise, and with all sorts of gummies to choose from, Glow Pop is perfect for peak performance and for chilling after the fight. Expand your mind or melt away with proprietary blends of Blue Lotus, Delta, CBD, and natural herbs at Glow Pop. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome Luis Cortez and then Zeke Latu to the cage.
Back in Utah with hopes of snapping a streak of losses, enter Luis Cortez. Caitlin, only a small window in which we saw him last June, seems to be realigned and refocused, headed into another tough test.
One thing about Luis is that he'll fight anyone. He's fought some of the toughest heavyweights in the state, and tonight is no different.
Jason, only 4 minutes and 16 seconds of total cage time in his 3 fights since coming back in 2022. He gets in there quickly. Whether it's a win or a loss, the fight is finished in short time.
Yeah, he's throwing power shots. He's looking for the knockout. He's looking for a short night, take his check, and go back home to Idaho.
Luis Cortez, his last fight to go to a second round, February 19th of 2016. It has been quite some time since he has found his way out of the first round, but excited to see how things go here. He came out of the floodgates to start last time out, immediate offense, but wasn't able to get the win against Cam Chisholm.
Yeah, he ended up getting clipped against Cam Chisholm, but he came out with the full-on aggression, throwing big shots. We'll see if he can duplicate a little bit of that early success tonight against Zeke Latu.
Luis Cortez facing his longest layoff since his fight opposite Kent Monfileo back in November of 2022. That was 4 fights ago. We haven't seen him in 11 months, Caitlin.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what he's been doing with that layoff. I've seen him in the gym. I've seen him at Agino training hard, so I think he's really been putting in the work.
All focus narrowed in on nothing short of a win. Enter the fan favorite, Zeke Latu. Jason, call it a bad hand dealt, but his back is against the wall in this one, dropping his last 2 in a row.
You know, a little different energy from Zeke tonight. Usually comes out a little more hyped up. He's got a serious look on his face. He looks locked in tonight.
Caitlin, 2 takedowns in his last outing, sprinkled with some burdensome ground and pound. The gas tank has been his Achilles heel in these 2 fights in which he's dropped off.
I mean, he's fighting Luis Cortez, and Luis Cortez doesn't make it out of the first round very often, so we'll see if he needs that gas tank.
Jason, average fight time when he wins, 3 minutes and 8 seconds for this guy.
Yeah, this is a great, evenly matched fight. Both guys looking for the finish tonight. I'm really excited. This is one that I had starred on as one of my fights of the night.
Latu has appeared on 7 of the last 8 shows here in the Maverick Center, dating back to his pro debut in September of 2022. With that, let's go ahead and see what flies off the page between these two. Zeke Latu facing off against Luis Cortez in our co-main event. Cortez, 3 years senior, also will have the 1-inch height edge headed into this one. Cortez tipping the scales at 252 pounds. Latu weighing in at 246.5 pounds, a little bit lighter coming into today. Zeke Latu with a record of 3-3. Cortez a little bit longer in the tooth with a record of 5-8. Interested to see how these 2 heavyweights clash as Latu enters the cage once again, a resident here in the Maverick Center. With that, let's get things going with Jackson Host.
Fierce fans, our co-main event of the evening is sponsored by Glow Pop. This fight is a professional heavyweight bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. Introducing the first fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 5 wins and 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 0 inches tall and weighed in at 252 pounds. Fighting out of Guerrilla Unit MMA, hailing from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Fierce fans, make some noise for Luis, the Mexican Hulk Cortez. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 3 wins and 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighed in at 246.5 pounds. Fighting out of Fight City SLC, Rise Boxing, and Classic Fight Team, hailing from Salt Lake City, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for Zeke, the Tongan Kong Latu.
Maverick Center mainstay Zeke Latu looks to bounce back while sporting the red gloves, challenging.
Co-main event, okay? Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you do not protect yourself, I will stop the fight. If you guys have any questions, touch gloves if you want and back up.
Challenging is Luis Cortez in the blue gloves. This heavyweight bout is brought to you by Glow Pop. For peak performance or relaxing after a match, head over to glowpop.com. Glow Pop, an official sponsor of Fierce FC.
Don't blink, ladies and gentlemen.
I was talking to Zeke yesterday at weigh-ins, told me he feels fast coming into this one. A little bit lighter than he typically is as Cortez opens up with the head kick, unable to land it. Cortez trying to infiltrate the guard of Latu. Latu, some stellar boxing showcased already, Caitlin.
Yeah, that's some tricky footwork and head movement from Zeke. That was a nasty inside leg kick by Cortez.
Latu swings for the fences, steps back, tries to land another one, finds air as Cortez lunges forward for another clean connection.
He caught him clean with that, too.
That was a little low, yeah.
Latu immediately begins to lobby. Cortez seems to be in a lot of pain, but Latu doesn't seem to admit guilt. We typically see fighters immediately admit guilt if they do, but we definitely see Cortez in a little bit of pain.
Latu asking for the replay there. He doesn't think it was a low blow.
Looks like we won't be able to get the replay on this one, unfortunately. We will have it for the future. Didn't pick up as cleanly as I would have liked to. Tyler Tomlinson was right in front of that ambient mic, giving a quick warning to Latu. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have the replay on it. We will have replay if there is another finish, but we do see Luis Cortez still in some immense pain. Only a minute or so gone past in this first round, and we already see pretty substantial stoppage here.
Zeke was very adamant that that was not a low blow.
Tyler Tomlinson speaking to Cortez. Again, you do get 5 minutes to gain back your composure. Already been a few minutes here. Not sure exactly how much time has passed, but Cortez certainly taking it.
Latu's looking for the replay.
Latu looking for the replay. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have it. Wish we did. But Cortez now back up to his feet, still wincing. In a fair amount of pain. And quickly there will be a meeting of the minds here in the middle between Tyler Tomlinson and the two fighters. Caitlin, I don't know if I've seen... No, I have seen this definitely before where there is a low blow and then the ref goes to speak to the two. Doesn't happen every time, but happens every once in a while.
I heard Zeke's corner yelling for him to stay focused in there. They didn't want him to get frustrated with that. A little more composure tonight from Zeke.
Cortez blitzes, but the head movement of Latu seems to be putting him in front right now. Caitlin, the boxing has been stellar by Latu.
Yeah, I mean, by both of these guys, there's been some great boxing.
Oh, there it is! There's a hand from hell at Zeke Latu getting it done in the Maverick Center.
Wow! Big shot from a composed Zeke Latu tonight. That's a man on a mission right there, Blake and Caitlin.
I need to see that replay.
I told you don't blink. I said don't blink tonight. Good show of respect.
It was the left hand that sent Cortez to the floor, and Zeke Latu is back in full form. Luis Cortez drops his 6th in a row a valiant effort, the best we've seen him in a long time, Caitlin.
Yeah, no, he looked sharp, he looked crisp, his head movement was on point. It was his night tonight, definitely.
Latu comes over to the broadcast booth, yells, "I am back." Certainly showed it here tonight. The head movement, the crisp combinations. We thought it was going to be a power punch from the right. Instead, it's a short shot with the left. And he's going to go home with a new W in his win column. Let's go ahead and make it official in just a moment. Still getting the official timestamp. We are ready to go. We'll bring the fighters to the center, and we'll send it inside to the man in the blue suit, Jackson Hoops.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Tomlinson has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 36 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO, Zeke, the Tongan Kong Latu.
Zeke, where you going, man? We got to do an interview. I know it's been a minute, man, but it's good to see you back in the winning circle, brother. That was an impressive performance, man. As you were walking out, I mentioned on the broadcast, you seemed a little more composed tonight. Seemed like you were taking your time. I'm gonna turn around because I'm gonna walk through this knockout here because it looked like this replay here. Maybe. Here we go.
Nah, I don't know what the fuck that was.
It looked like you caught him with the left hand there. Did you see something in your boxing look really crisp tonight? Talk to me a little bit about your training and what led you up to this moment tonight.
First, you already know. I gotta thank my Lord and Savior. A lot of people are scared to thank him, but not me, baby. I love you, Jesus. I always give all praise and glory to my Lord and Savior, baby. Anyways, it was my coaches. I heard Marcos on the side, and I just heard Jovis somewhere, but I heard Marcos on the side. Compose, pick your shots. And that's the first time I'm actually like, if you watch my other fights, I don't really listen to my corners, so.
Oh, I mentioned it on the broadcast that I could tell how composed you were tonight, so impressive performance, man.
Thank you, brother.
So what's next, man? Where do you go from here?
Send it. You already know, brother. August, keep it going. I just need to go. I just need to fight. I want to be like my big brother Ken. He's always fighting the best. Give me the best too. I don't give a shit. I want to get better, and the only way I get better if I fight the best. So give me another Bellator or UFC fighter. Yeah, I said that. Let's get it, baby.
I love it. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Obviously, my coaches and my team, Fight City, Eric Wallin, the boys at Fight City, Bryce Boxing, Classic Fight Team head coach for there, Marco Sanchez, and I got my boy right here, Sonny, another Tongan fighter, MMA fighter. Thank you for coming, brother. First Fighting Championship, thank you for having me, and my sponsors. I got a few. I want to do a shout out to Mo'unga Gava, the best Gava. If you guys drink and mix Gava, hit them up. And I got Autolicity, best car dealership here in Utah, Water and Wellness, and how do you say that in Spanish, bro? Sorry, it's in Spanish. Yeah, Cinto es salud. Thank you, guys.
Hey, once again, congratulations. And as always, Simplify, brother, congratulations to Zeke Latu. throws with bad intentions with every shot.
Hits like a Mack truck.
Ammon Garcia is the undisputed king of the lightweights. Raymond Lawley.
The trajectory on this kid just skyrocketed, Jason.
That was a great performance.
He is so impressive. His technique is awesome. He's explosive. He's exciting.
There's the tap. Suastoon batting 1,000 in the debut.
Second here. Take it away, my man.
Thanks, Jackson. Utah, how we doing? I'm really bummed I don't get to put on a show for you guys tonight. I worked really hard throughout this training camp. Had a few injuries myself as well, but still came out to put on a show for you guys and collect my belt. But I just want to say thank you to everyone still coming out, showing support, that wanted to come see me fight, coming back out here and supporting Utah MMA. That's what it's all about. Without you fans, us as fighters, we can't be doing this. So thank you to everyone showing up still. I really appreciate that. I'm really feeling the love from every single one of you guys tonight. I'd just like to give a shout out to all my coaches, Pedro Sierra, Bobby King, Dwayne Ludwig, and all my sponsors that helped me throughout camp. Cody Bunderson with FST Filtration, Justin Trujillo with True Culture Tattoos, Yanni Hernandez with Glenn's Tires, West Valley, Accelerated Athletics, FBC Roofing, and Air Temperature Solutions. Thank you guys so much for all the help throughout this camp. And, what a night of fights. And can't wait to be back here in this ring and to put a show on for you guys. It's going to be well overdue. Thank you so much.
Make some noise for Joe Haro!
Access Fierce FC's digital program. Get the inside scoop on every fighter making the walk tonight, as well as additional information on future shows. We head in to this main event between Jared Vander and Eric Iman. Jason, your thoughts about this heavyweight matchup? A lot of people have been looking forward to it. I think specifically Jared Vander came into Utah, took away the belt from our pound-for-pound #1 guy, and Eric Iman thinks he has the skill set to take it back.
Yeah, big fight for both guys. Vander trying to get back in the UFC. We got Eric Iman trying to end his career on a high note and get that heavyweight title, the belt that he's wanted for so long. This is a huge fight for both guys.
All right, with that, let's move it back over to Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, our main event of the evening is sponsored by Rush Hydro. As fellow high-performance athletes, they intimately understand the demands your body faces during intense workouts. At Rush Hydro, they bottled the essence of resilience and determination. Feel the exhilaration of optimal electrolyte balance and unmatched bioavailability tailored for champions who refuse to settle for anything less. Elevate your performance with elite hydration, revitalize, rebound, and recharge with Rush Hydro. Fierce fans, make some noise and welcome our final two fighters to the cage, Jared Vander and Eric Iman.
Well, he fought the perfect fight to feed into this one, and now back is Eric Iman. Jason, there's been no stone left unturned for him leading into this one. Win or lose, this looks to be the final straw for the storied veteran.
Yeah, he's put it all on the line. He's fought everybody. He's been there. He's done that. He's fought in Bellator. He's a local legend in Utah MMA. I love watching Eric Iman fight. You see the crowds going crazy. They're throwing out a little bit of swag for everybody. Caitlin, did I see him down at Agema this fight camp? Was he getting rounds down there with you guys too, or was he all up at Team Link?
I haven't been in Agema because I tore my ACL, so I'm not 100% sure, but that wouldn't surprise me because a lot of fighters have been trickling through Agema.
Caitlin, obviously a tough task at hand. What will be the key for him to best a vet like Vander?
I mean, with this, just going in with full confidence, knowing that you are a heavyweight, and if you land at least like 1, 2, 3 hard shots, like you could put him out. Like you have the power, you have the skill, and it's just being able to show up on fight night and putting that all together.
78% of his wins have come by knockout. We saw one last November that skyrocketed his stock.
Oh yeah, it was a big knockout. He had a short notice opponent, did what he needed to do, got rid of him quickly. He's got a tough task tonight in Jared Vander.
I had to step away for just a moment to figure out some technical stuff, but Jason, I think one of the big things when you're talking about Eric Iman is just the amount of power that this guy holds. That is really the X factor coming into this one, is if he can land one cleanly on Vander, that is really the narrative of what could be him finding his way out here with gold.
He's a big man. There's a picture floating around somewhere on my social media page, me standing next to him with his fist next to my head, and his fist is literally bigger than my head. That's a big man, and he packs a punch.
All focused in his final fight of his career, win or lose. He's mentioned it a few times, but this one seems to be cemented in the mind state. Headed into this one, final time, walk number 17 for a belt on the line. Here is Eric Iman. All right, back in the building in which he bagged a belt. Enter the Fierce FC heavyweight champion, Jared Vander. Caitlin, he halted the freight train that was Camp Mafileo and now looks to defend with Eric Iman standing in his wake.
I mean, it's good to see Jared with a belt around his waist with all of the UFC experience that he has, but I think Eric will be an interesting test for him, so I'm stoked for this one.
Jason, he willingly attempts submissions from any vantage point. 4 guillotine attempts in 9 minutes of his fight back in February versus Camp Mafileo.
Yeah, and he's a guy that he's been working on his jiu-jitsu. We've seen him do some combat jiu-jitsu in the recent months. He wants to get this fight to the ground. He's been in the game long enough that he knows he does not want to stand with Eric Iman tonight.
All right, final time tonight. Let's pull up that tail of the tape presented by Rush Hydro for this heavyweight title bout. Eric Iman is the older man by 13 years, 45 years of age to be exact. 2 inches taller, will also edge in the way of Eric Iman. Iman weighing in at 259 pounds, Vander weighing in at 251. Iman with a record of 9-7. Vander, a little bit more tread on those tires with a record of 14-11. Final time tonight, let's kick it inside to Jackson Hopes.
Fierce fans, this is your main event. This fight is sponsored by Rush Hydro, and when the fight begins, the referee in charge will be Tyler Tomlinson. This fight is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds for the Fierce Fighting Championship Professional Heavyweight title. Now, one more time, I need everybody here inside the Maverick Center and everybody tuning into the pay-per-view, from the upper suites to the arena seats, all the way down to cage side. Put your hands together and make some noise! Introducing the challenger, fighting out of the red corner, holding a professional record of 4 wins and 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 259 pounds. Fighting out of Team Link Utah Training Center, hailing from O-Town, Utah. Fierce fans, make some noise for the challenger, Eric Silverback Iman. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, holding a professional record of 14 wins and 11 losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in at 251 pounds. Fighting out of King's MMA and Team Quest Athletic Center, hailing from Hemet, California. Fierce fans, make some noise for the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champion, Jared Vander.
All right, it's the main event, pro fight, pro rules, okay? Listen, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. I will stop the fight. You guys have any questions about pro rules? Touch gloves if you want.
Fierce FC heavyweight champion Jared Vander, wrapped in the blue gloves, challenging is the fan favorite Eric Iman in the red. This heavyweight title bout is brought to you by Rush Hydro. Revitalize, rebound, and recharge with Rush Hydro, the official recovery drink of Fierce FC. Final fight here tonight, heavyweight gold on the line between Jared Vander in the red shorts, Eric Iman in those gray.
Vander is finding some success with those low kicks.
Yeah, Eric's gonna want to start checking those.
Eric's standing really tall, so it makes him vulnerable to those leg kicks.
Iman closes the distance, plays into the hand of Vander as he begins to grapple.
And this is right where Jared wants to fight.
Able to get the trip. Vander able to land a couple of takedowns on Kent Mafileo back in February.
Vander said he wanted to make a statement with this fight.
Eric Iman was taken down in the first 30 seconds of his last fight, but he promptly sprung back up. Taken down twice in totality versus Jesse Salmon as he finds himself on bottom here, 70 seconds in.
Got a lot bigger man on top of him this fight.
Vander making his way towards the back. His last two wins have been by submission.
Nasty neck crank there.
Iman defends the hands well. He has been submitted twice in his career.
That's tight.
Oh, it's under the chin.
Oh, that's tight. That is really tight.
Vander looking to close the show. There is the tap. And with that, Jared Vander remains the standard at heavyweight. Jared Vander bests Eric Iman in the first round. Able to play his game, finds himself on the back, and slaps on a submission to call it a night, Caitlin.
Yeah, I mean, that was a quick work by Jared Vander.
You see Eric Iman with his longtime coach, Fabio Sahau. Jared Vander with some style points as well.
Got some sick dance moves.
Fired up for his 15th professional win. First time winning back-to-back since before his UFC days in 2020. With that, let's make it official. Final time tonight with Jackson Hooks.
Fierce fans, referee Tyler Tomlinson has called us out to this contest at 1 minute, 39 seconds of the first round, declaring the winner by submission due to rear naked choke. And still, the undisputed heavyweight champion, Jared Vander.
Ladies and gentlemen, here with your winner, Jared Vander. Jared, you come in here, make quick work of Eric Iman tonight. I know I listened to your podcast. You talked about the goal was to get back to the UFC. Do you think you made a big enough statement tonight to help get you back on track to get there?
I know I took a step in the right direction. I know I have to put in more work, and I know a lot of people look at my record, they're like, oh, it's crap, 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 crap. The problem is I take short notice fights way too much. I like this shit a little too much. So, yeah, my plan's still the same. One step closer. I want to shout out to Fierce for keeping me, my opponent for being a tough dude, coming in here, wanting to bang. I want to give a shout out to my creatures at home, because last time they got upset. I will be home. You better be good for Grandma and Grandpa tomorrow, the wifey. See you guys tomorrow. And whenever you guys want me to punch someone else in the face, if you want me to do it next week, I'm available.
We're running out of heavyweights, man. You're taking them all out.
Start eating.
Any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
No one likes me. So if anyone wants to sponsor me, I'm cool, I guess.
Let's make this happen for this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your winner, and still Fierce Fighting Championship heavyweight champion, Jared Vander.
Defends his heavyweight title. That is now 5 consecutive regional titles in which he has won.
Can't have you out-angling me, man. All right, Eric. I know how much you put into this fight. I know this was kind of like your last hurrah. I see you got the gloves off. Talk to me, man. Talk to the fans.
You know, I did this once before I retired. And I knew I wasn't done, right? Had a lot of personal things. I made some poor decisions. Really changed my life. Came back, had a good showing. Felt really ready to fight Jared. Jared's a stud. Hats off to him. Just didn't put the game plan together. And, you know, everybody keeps saying age is just a number. Well, fighting's a perishable skill. And it was really hard for me to get ready for this. I look forward to commentating. I got some young guys in the gym I think I can help. I want to get Cam back in here. We'll get him to fight Jared again. Utah MMA, I appreciate it. I have personally grown more doing this than I could have any other way. So I appreciate the love and support. I have a rare opportunity to fix the things I wronged and put my life together, and I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna go start golfing or something. But I love you guys, and thanks for all you've given me. I love you guys, thank you.
Eric, man, it's been an honor and privilege calling all your fights. Your name is etched in stone with Utah MMA. You're one of the best, brother. Love you, man.
Fierce fans, give it up for Eric Silverback Hyman. And one more time, make some noise! 2 weeks, June 15th, we will be at Warehouse 22 for Fierce Challenger Series 10. Drive safe home this evening and make some noise. We will see you June 15th.